Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 11 August 2022. It's Thursday night. It's 9 o'clock. It's time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale we shall have. First up, a little bit of housekeeping before we get the sale rolling. First thing I need to be familiar with are the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I'll also reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description, very important, you'll see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is to my Primer for Buyers video. That's a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. Explains how we do things and why. And we have a very good reason for doing them the way we do. So please be familiar with how this all works before you attempt to engage in purchasing a knife. The second link is my FAQs for Consignors video. If you are in need of moving along some of your collection and you don't want to mess with selling them yourself, and you'd like to use this weekly sales event as a vehicle to do that, that video will explain how it all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the description, the oh so important video description, you'll see those 3 links, followed by the terms of the sale, followed by the reason you're all here, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. Normally you'll see 2 prices in that far right column. The number on the left is the price of the knife as shown in the video. The price on the right as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. And tonight we will have slots for 6 next day sharpening knives. So if you want your blade sharpened and you're among the first 6 to request that, your knife will ship tomorrow the 12th with all of the as shown inventory. If you're outside the first 6, expect your knife to ship in about 3 weeks. Okay, I think that's about it for the terms. Let's get the terms of the sale on the screen, and then we'll be right back with the sale inventory. Here are those terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, it looks like we've got 4 leftovers from last week. And guys, these are going to be unbelievable deals. If you think you might like these knives, jump on these prices because they're pretty amazing. First up, we've got that cold steel budget combo. 1 mini tack, 2 mini tack, 1 medium Voyager Vaquero, all come in boxes. Okay, so let's look first at the mini tacks. These are little neck capable fixed blade knives. They come with beaded chains. They come with Secure-X sheaths. They are both mini tack Tontos in AUS 8. The aggressive texture G10 for handle scales. This one's got the serrated blade on the main cutting edge and plain edge on the front. And then the other one should be all plain edge. These things are very near mint to like new with boxes and sheaths and beaded chains. Those things sell for 30 bucks web retail each. And then you've got the medium Voyager Vaquero, also with an AUS 8 blade, I believe, yeah. Made in Taiwan. Got that swoopy Persian thing, or Spanish thing, I guess. FRN handle, triad lock. The clip has a little wear on it, but I believe the lefty clip is in the box. It's brand new. So if you're a lefty, might be a good buy. So these are gone. They're out of stock and discontinued, I believe. When they were available, they carried a web retail price of about 46 bucks. So that would have been like $106 for all three of these things if you wanted to buy them all brand new. We ran the trio last week for 70 and then dropped it to 60 for the weekend. They're all still here. And by the way, 25 each to sharpen. This week we're going 50 bucks for the trio, 50 plus 25 each to sharpen. That is the Cold Steel Budget Combo. Next up, it is Hogue time. First, we have this here box. Inside it resides the 34551 X5, an Alan Elishowitz designed button lock flipper. And I've got three of these, so be specific in your I'll take it's. This one will be listed as Hogue 34551 X5 OD green because it has an OD green hard anodized aluminum handle. We've got a closed length of 5 3/8, not a small knife. It comes with ambidextrous tip up clips. It is a button lock with safety, and it's a ball bearing flipper. Flips out with authority. There's that harpoon spear point Elishowitz design. CPM 154 blade steel. Blade length is 3 7/8. Gorgeous stonewash. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action is smooth as silk. Blade centering will be right down the middle. Condition is like new in the box. These are 195 bucks brand new at your favorite web retailer. We ran it last week for 150, dropped it to 130 for the weekend, still here. Let's do 120 like it is, 140 with an Apostle PH, the Hogue 34551 X5 OD green. Next up, do not adjust your set. The next knife is a different color. Also a Hogue. Also an X5. This is the 34554 X5 in tan. Hard anodized aluminum. 5 inches a handle. Button lock, ball bearing flipper with safety. Right hand clip installed, left hand clip in the box. Fill tab installed on that side. Gorgeous tan hard anodized aluminum handle. Let's check the flipping action. It's stupendous. 3 7/8 inches of stonewash CPM 154 and a harpoon spear point. 5 3/8 inches of handle. And in the hand, oh so nice for a big knife. I mean, oh so nice. It wants to penetrate. Lock up, dead rock solid. Flipping action is awesome. Blade centering will be right down the middle. Condition will be like new in the box. Web price retail for these brand new $195 at your favorite purveyor of cutlery. We ran this last week for $150. It did not sell. On Saturday we dropped it to $130. It's still here. This week let's do $120 like it is. $140 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. The Hogue 34554 X5 tan. Next up, completing the trio, it's another Hogue. It's another X5. This, the 34559er X5 in black hard anodized aluminum with GMascus inlays. This will be in your inventory as Hogue 34559 X5 GMascus. So just like the previous two knives, we got 5 3/8 inches of hard anodized aluminum handle with gorgeous milled GMascus inlay on both sides. The tip configuration is going to be tip up deep carry, right hand clip installed, lefty clip in the box, fill tab installed. Beautiful integral lanyard hole in that sort of faux backspacer. Right? We got a button lock with a safety to prevent accidental deployment or closure. We got a ball bearing mechanism and a flipper tab. The knife comes out with authority. We got a DLC coated blade in CPM 154, 3 7/8 inches of blade, 5 3/8 inches of handle. Lockup is dead solid. Action is dead smooth. Blade position is dead center. Condition, like new in the box. These knives are available at your favorite web retailer for $220 brand new. We ran this last week for $170. I thought that was a buy. It didn't sell. On Saturday, we dropped it to $135. It still didn't sell. This week, dang, it's almost half price, guys. $125 like it is. $145 with my edge. And next day sharpening available. The Hogue 34559er X5 GMascus. Next up, we are on to the fresh inventory. First one is from TwoSun Knives, designed and made in Yangjiang, China. We're just, I don't know the model number on this one. We're going to call it the TwoSun Damascus slip joint. Kind of got a little laguiole kind of a flavor to it. The covers look like snake wood, but I'm not going to cop to that. I don't know what kind of wood that is, but it looks a lot like snake wood. The bolsters, I think, are nickel silver, but with not a very high nickel content. Maybe more brass than nickel silver because they're turning a little yellow. The liners appear to be steel on this one. The blade is some kind of Damascus. Nice drop point blade. Nice pattern in the Damascus, I gotta say. Closed length is 3 5/8. Pull weight is about a 6 on cam tang. Nice walk and talk. Centering is very close. And then you got a little waxed cord lanyard with a bead. I'll call the condition near mint in the box. And let's see, we sold one of these a couple weeks ago, and it sold rather quick. And we'll sell this one at the same price, $35 like it is, $50 with an ApostleP edge. The TwoSun Damascus slip joint. Next up, we're going to stay right over there in China for a minute. There's some interesting warning on here. I'm not sure what this means. Warning, cancer and reproductive harm. P65warning.ca.gov. What is that? Is that Prop 65? Everything causes cancer. We've got one from Rough Ryder Reserve. It is the RRR 010 Tear Jerk, whatever that means. I think it's a teardrop jack, sorta. Here we go. Northwood's called and they want their shield back. But guess what? Rough Ryder is a Chinese company and they don't care. Okay, all jokes aside, these are kind of good knives for the money, guys. Ready? We've got a 3 15/16 inch closed length. We got stainless steel bolsters and end caps, a nickel silver shield, and it looks like the pins are nickel silver. Some kind of black micarta are the covers. The blade configuration is spear main on a long match striker pull, a Warncliffe secondary on a match striker nail neck. Pull weight, it's a scant 7. Walk and talk are beautiful on both blades. Centering is as well. Condition will be like new in box. I think you can buy this knife, if you can find it, for about $60, but they're kind of hard to find. This one can be yours, $50, shipped, priority mail, all in, no sales tax. $80 for me to sharpen both blades. That's the Rough Ryder Reserve RR010 Tear Jerk. Next up, it's another Rough Ryder Reserve, and they evidently have trouble knowing which way to orient their R's, but they're Chinese, who cares? This is the RRR011 Heavy Trapper in blue denim micarta. We've got 4 7/16 inches of closed length, stainless steel bolsters. I think the shield is nickel silver and the pins are as well. We got brass liners on this one. Man, long knife, 4 7/16 closed. Blades are D2, and they are on the last knife as well, if I forgot to mention it. We've got match striker nail nicks on both blades. The main is a Warncliffe, and the secondary, because it is a trapper, is going to be a Spey. Pull weight, I'm going to say 6.5 on this one. Nice walk and talk. Centering is beautiful. Not a bad knife. Let's see. These are a little easier to find than the Tear Jerks. They're about 61 bucks. Web retail. This one can be yours at 45, and then 85 I sharpen both blades. That is the Rough Ryder Reserve RRR011 Heavy Trapper. Next up, first one of these I've seen, and man, what a cool knife this is. From Maniago Knife Makers, MKM, we have the Timavo in black G10. As with most knives designed by Jesper Vaxness, this one's a cool knife. So here we go. I see some beautifully satin finished or blasted 3D machine G10. I see a little blue anodized pivot collar. I see a deep carry heavy wire clip, but doggone, it's right hand only. I see a crown spine. I see beautifully finished stainless steel liners. I see a couple gorgeous nuclear reactor standoffs. And let's see, I bet I got a ball bearing flipper, and I do. I've got an M390 blade, which looks very Vox. Blade length is going to be 2 7/8. Handle's 4 1/4. And I think it's a stainless steel liner lock, yeah. There's your lock engagement. Lockup is solid. If you have little tiny Chinese fingers, that choil would work really good. Decent jimping. Blade centering, I bet you it's right down the middle. Nice little package, guys. Yep. I'm going to say this is like new in the box. Web price at your favorite online retailer is going to be $180. Or just buy this one. It's a beautiful example. It's like brand new. All in, shipped, priority mail, $140. And then $165 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That is the MKM Timavo. Next up, okay, I'm going to say it, and if you tell anybody I said this, I'll deny it. This is a cool Chinese Kershaw. Here you go. There's your box. The label says it is a model 4038 Tumbler. Tumbler. Now here you go. I think it's a lot like that Axiom, at least in materials. You got a 3D machine G10 handle scale set, and then you've got carbon fiber inlaid, and look at the way it's milled. See that? Very cool. Nice little lanyard loop integrated into the handle. A deep carry clip that will go both ways. Nice stonewash steel affair. And then I got a ball bearing flipper. Very cool. Almost a trailing point. Almost like a Canadian. Yeah. Stainless steel subframe lock. Super light knife. Blade length is 3 1/4. Handle is 4 3/8. Sienkiewicz design. Let's see. D2 is your blade steel. Rock solid lockup. There's your engagement. Nice ball bearing action. Centering is going to be perfect. Let's see. This has been sharpened, and it's not super polished, but it is very sharp. nicely refined. The sharpening choil has been slightly enhanced, which, let's face it, all Sienkiewicz knives need, because Dimitri doesn't seem to know what that choil's for. And he seems to always need cutting edge underneath the handle. I have no idea why. So this one's been fixed. So it's way better than new, just so you know. Other than that, it's pretty much like new. So we'll call it near mint in box. You can buy these brand new for 65 bucks, but then you'd have to pay me like 25 or 30 bucks to fix them and make them sharp. This one's already squared away. Your price? 50 bucks, shipped priority mail. The Kershaw 4038 Tumbler. Next up, an interesting knife from, oh, let's see, an obscure company that nobody's heard of. Gerber? Yeah, really, Gerber. Inside the box comes an interesting knife. Although it is made in China, it is the Flatiron. This one is in urban blue micarta, and it'll be in your inventory as Gerber Flatiron BLU micarta. So there's what the show side scale looks like. It's almost a denim, not quite. Flip it over. We have sort of a gray anodized stainless steel frame, a lot like a Cold Steel Code 4, but it's steel instead of aluminum. Got a polished, interesting tip-up right-hand pocket clip, and then a very large over travel stop, which I guess serves as a rest for opening the knife. Yeah, it does. Kind of works well. It might be on ball bearings. I can't really tell. It looks like it, though. Cool mechanism. Cleaver blade, sort of a tumble polished affair. Blade steel looks like it is D2. You can always tell D2 because of that. Excuse me, let me wipe this off. D2, whether you satin it or whether you polish it, it gets a little orange peel going. A lot like VG10. So that's what you got. And this has been user sharpened, but this one not quite as sharp as that Tumbler that we just showed. Blade length is 3 9/16. Handle is 4 3/4. It's a stout knife, guys. Kind of looks more straight razor than cleaver, doesn't it? I don't know. It's called the Flatiron. Gets fingerprinted very easily. There's your lock engagement. It's dead solid. Centering is slightly off to the left as you're looking at it. And I played with the pivot. That's where it wants to be. So web price of these new is $60 at your favorite retailer. This one can be yours. 35 bucks like it is. 55 with my edge on it. That's the Gerber Flatiron Blue Micarta. Next up, I teased you about this yesterday in my heads up video. From Winkler Knives 2, been there and back, we have the Winkler Knives 2 folding knife Sig Sauer edition, and it says black micarta, and it's definitely canvas, but man, it almost has a little hint of OD in it. I'll show you in a minute. Very interesting knife. So there is your scale. It is a titanium liner lock knife with a titanium clip. As far as I can tell, it's completely not magnetic. Handle length is 4 1/4, and then it is a ball bearing flipper. But I'll just tell you, the flipper design not so great. Almost takes a little risk to get it out. You got Caswell finish on the 80 CRV2 blade. Looks like it's made out of 1/8 inch stock. Kind of a Winklerish spear point with the Sig logo in the off side of the blade. Nothing on the show side, which is rather interesting. The clip is going to be ambidextrous tip up. There's your lock engagement on the titanium locking leaf. The centering is just way off. It just is what it is. I played with the pivot a little bit, and you don't want any looser than that. Lockup is solid. Action's okay, given the poorly designed flipper tab. I'm going to call it near mint to like new in box. Very hard to find a pricing reference for this knife. There just aren't that many out there. But Winkler Knives 2 has their faithful. The only one I found that really was close was this exact model. Sold recently at Arizona Custom Knives for $325. This one can be yours under 300 bucks. Let's do $295 like it is. $315 with my edge on it. That is the Winkler Knives 2 Sig Sauer folder. Next up, I teased you about this too. This is an interesting box. Looks too small to hold a fixed blade. It is an Arno Bernard knife. And if you read closely, you'll see that this is the model Imamba in desert ironwood, and it ain't a fixed blade. Check out this beauty, would ya? Yeah. I have a titanium frame lock folder, and I'm going to call, I know it says desert ironwood, but guys, look closely. If that ain't desert ironwood burl, I don't know what is. Very cool looking set of inlays. That handle looks familiar. It looks kind of Georgie, doesn't it? I think it does. Beautifully milled, long titanium pocket clip that looks like it's going to do a great job. Man, this has got a little Chris Reeve vibe going, a little Les George vibe going. I have a braided leather lanyard with kind of a monkey fist knot. It is a ball bearing flipper. The flipping action, I'll say, is not stellar. And the reason it's not stellar is because it's got a whole bunch of lock bar tension. It's not bad, but it doesn't like fly out. You have to do it with purpose. Very similar to a CQI Spyderco Advocate if you've ever flipped one of those. There's your lock engagement. It's going to be rock solid. Blade steel is RWL 34, 3 3/8 inches in length. Finished like an Arno Bernard knife, which is to say awesome. Handle length is 4 7/16. There are some very faint snail trails, so we're not going to call it like new. We'll call it near mint in box. Just beautiful. These models are out of stock, at least in this inlay. When they were available, they were $576 web price new. This one can be yours. Shipped priority mail for $495, and then $520 if you would like it with my edge on it. That is the Arno Bernard Imamba. Next up, how about we just stick with Arno for a minute? Whoops, knives on the floor. There's an Arno Bernard box that holds a knife a little more familiar to us. This is the Marmoset with G10 handle, a beautiful little knife. Look at that super finely crafted black leather sheath. And I love this. It's got a lanyard, a beautiful braided leather lanyard with a bone bead. And if you don't want it slapping around and rattling as you're stalking your game, you tuck it under that snap loop and it holds it fast. How about that? It'll also give you a little aid in securing the knife in the sheath, because I don't think you can pull it out of there. Yeah, how about that? Pretty smart. Here is the Marmoset. It's a beautiful little knife. Just beautiful. N690 blade. 2 7/8 inches in length. Super efficient. Got kind of a 50-50 choil. Beautiful jimping. Thin blade stock, I'm guessing 100 thousandths. It looks like the jimping is cut pre-heat treat, and then as they finish it, it retains the black in the valleys. It's just gorgeous. Sunburst 3D milled G10 handle scales, crowned blade tang, and then your lanyard. The handle length on the Marmoset's 3 3/8. It just fits the hand so well. I'm going to call it like new in the box. Web price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer is $209. This one can be yours, like new in the box, at $169. 160. 160, like it is. And 180 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, here's a blade I haven't seen before. From Toor Knives. It's a Viper with gray handle. Comes with this gorgeous textured Kydex sheath that I guess you can configure as you wish. Looks like it's got an adjustable tensioning device. Little thumb release. There's your little spear point blade with a milled bevel. See the grooves? And that appears to be a black Cerakote or something like that. D2 blade, 2 1/4 inches long. 4 inches of ringtail handle. However you do that. I'm not a ringtail guy, but I know some of you are. Beautiful 3D machine grade G10 handle scales. This knife is like new in the box. They're out of stock. When they were available at web retailers, they were $155. This one can be yours at $120, like it is. Oh, come on, get in there now. You got to get it in there right, Rob. There you go. 120 like it is, 140 sharpened on the Toor Knives Viper. Next up, another one I haven't seen. Half-face blades. Half-face blades. And guys, these guys want you to know these knives are 100% made in America. They do not equivocate. They're 100% made in America. This knife is the Cav Junior, and doggone it, I forgot the gentleman's name. Designed by a Navy SEAL. I believe his name is Bradford Kavner. Super well thought out sheath system. Metal belt clip, Kydex fold over variety. And that Kydex sheath is lined much like a Winkler sheath. Also comes with a pancake style leather affair that looks like it could go both ways. Scout or vertical. Here is the Cav Junior. And this is a black Cerakote blade, S35 VN steel, sort of a medium height saber grind, 3 9/16 inches of blade length. Looks like 5/32 stock with lots of distal taper. Beautifully 3D machined and blasted G10 handle scales. Very, very nice in the hand. Jimping is quite effective. 3 15/16 inches of handle, so it's super efficient. Like new in the box. Very hard knife to get a price reference for. Silent going into that sheath. I did find one that sold at Arizona Custom Knives recently. It had like a tan G10 handle, but other than that, same knife. It did $525. This one, and you can't find one anywhere, guys. $400 like it is. $420 with an Apostle PH. That's the half face blades Cav Junior. Next up, guys, how about that? How about that? From Lon Humphrey, we've got a Muley drop point in walnut and 52-100. This one in a fold-over style bushcraft sheath. Looky there. It's branded Lon Humphrey Custom Knives even. Inside the sheath is the Muley. That's some pretty beautiful walnut right there, boys. Not super high polish, kind of a matte finish. It's got all the brute deforged characteristics that we love so well. The integral guard and the ricasso forged from the steel of the blade. Rough forged flats. High saber ground primary bevels. Great symmetry on this knife, by the way. 3 9/16 inches of blade. 4 1/8 handle. And like most Lon Humphrey knives, they're thinner in the height than they are in the width at the front of the handle, so they really love the saber grip. The blade won't go anywhere. It's just gorgeous in hand. And then you've got that sheath with the fire loop. Near mint in box. It looks like it might have been touched up, by the way. Can't find these anywhere, but you got one right here. Let's do $2.95 like it is. $3.15 with an Apostle P edge. The Lon Humphrey Muley. Time to turn the page. Next up, oh guys. Okay, a little backstory, a little behind the scenes inside baseball on this one. If you're watching this video and this knife doesn't say sold, I'm shocked. Because I almost made this the Rob's pick. But I thought, you know, I got an early bird that I haven't thrown a bone in a while. And he's going to love this knife. So there's only one reason this knife is still available, if it's still available. It's because he already has one. From Great Eastern Cutlery, the unexcelled Northfield line of premium pocket knives. We got an 82 Dixie Stockman, model 828318 in Sambar Stag. The large serpentine Stockman. Oh my. Ah. Oh. 4 1/8 inches of closed glorious length. Ah, oh, look at the match. Oh, all cam tangs, guys. About a 6 pull. Beautiful walk and talk. Main muskrat clip. And this is going to say in your inventory TAP, because I sharpened this for this consignor some time ago. It's got a little use on it, but not nearly enough to think about sharpening it again. And then the middle blade is going to be a warny. And just look, I want you to note, extremely slight rub on these congressing Stockman blades. Whoops, already had that one out. And then a drop point. Again, very minimal rub. Great walk and talk on all 3 blades. That's a stunner, guys. If you like GEC Stockman, this is your knife. And I'm saying it's far under market. Your price, near mint in tube with my edges, $250. No need to sharpen. The GEC Northfield number 82 Dixie Stockman Stag TAP. Next up, we've had a run of these lately. And here's another one. Might be the cheapest one we've had. From the Titty line from GEC. We got a Pioneer Trapper. Model 235-120L in Woodland Micarta. Comes with the Pioneer Trapper button. We've seen this knife, haven't we? 4 1/2 inches of closed length. Swell center curved handle trapper. The Woodland Micarta, it's almost like a tip of the cap to the old winter bottom bone from Queen, isn't it? Kind of a torched worm groove thing. Satin finish on the shield and the bolsters. Closed end, which makes the 23 awesome because no gunk can get in there and mess up your action. We've got a solid 8 1/2 pull on the man's knife. The man's knife. Liner lock. Perfect centering. Just some storage wear on the satin finish, so very near mint in tube. Your price on this one, $125 like it is, $145 with my edge. That's the GEC Titty number 23 Pioneer Trapper. Next up, from from Drop, or actually Mass Drop, and Gavco Knives, we've got a thresher. And it's got, I can't remember the name of that mill pattern, but that was a price added option. And it's got that sort of bronzy green ano, based of course on the Gavco custom thresher. We've got a 4 9/16 handle in titanium, a milled titanium clip, a steel inserted titanium frame lock, thumb studs, if you can actually get your thumb on it like that, a beautiful blade, kind of soggy, S35 VN, ball bearings and thumb studs, rock solid lockup, beautiful action, dead centering. Let's do that again. There we go. Three 7/16 inches, a gorgeous blade. I think this has been touched up. Oh no, I actually sharpened this, but it's got a little bit of wear just right through here. I'm not going to say you need to sharpen it again, but if you want, I'll give you a price. I don't recommend. So near mint in pouch. Let's see, 145 like it is. 165 with a freshened Apostle P edge. That's the mass drop Gavco thresher. Next up, got one from the Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon. This is getting to be a bit of a unicorn. The 553-S30V Griptilian. So it looks like just a base grip, doesn't it? Black Normal GTX. But there is something funny because it's got a Parkerized Emerson clip. But it's not 154 cm. It's S30V, and it's a Tonto. They made these for a very short time. Now this has been user sharpened. It's pretty sharp, but it almost looks like a work sharp edge. It's like slightly convex, so if you want me to fix it a little bit, I will. But it'll cut, trust me. Zero blade play in the axis lock mechanism. Nice free swinging blade. And boy, awfully dead centering on that one, guys. A pretty doggone nice example. I'm going to call it near mint in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. eBay seems to kind of know what these are worth. Sold listings, and there were several, ranging between $129 and $240. What do you think this one's going to cost? Let's just go under all of them. Let's do $120 like it is, $145 with fresh Apostle P edges on the Tonto blade. That's the Benchmade 553-S30V Tonto grip. Next up, staying with the Benchmades, we're going black class this time. This one, the 980 Turret. I sort of characterize this knife as a leaner, differently cool alternative to the Damascus. So much less heavy, but still with big, hefty axis lock hardware. Okay, a largish knife, 4 7/8 closed. Oh, that was bad. 3 5/8 inches of blade. Kind of a saber ground spear point in S30V. Beautifully 3D machined, satin finished OD green G10. Deep carry ambidextrous pocket clip. Lockup is dead rock solid. Blade is as free swinging as you want it. And the centering on this turret is perfect. I'll call it near mint in box. It has been used and touched up. Looks like maybe the 40-degree side of a sharp maker. Still available at your favorite online retailer if you'd like to pay $234 for one. I bet you'd like to pay $185 for this one. A lot better. And that's your price. $185 shipped, priority mail, all in. $205 if you'd like to come with an Apostle P edge. And next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. That's the Benchmade 980 turret. I got one from Spyderco next, and you don't see these very often. In fact, I can't remember the last time I saw one. From Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. It's a Mannix 2 mid back lock. Not a caged ball bearing lock. Look at that, guys. So you've still got the bushing pivot like you would with the caged ball lock, but I've got smooth G10 and a mid lock, sans the boy dent. Comes out better than that. Well, maybe it's more of a sweeper than a flicker. There. A little bit of lock bar tension. Rock solid lockup. So still S30V blade, just like any old Mannix 2. Full flat ground. 3 3/8 inches of blade, 4 5/8 inches of handle. They're discontinued, they're out of stock. Let's see. Oh, by the way, centering's down the middle. eBay sold listings. These are bringing some coin. Between $244 and $299. I guess they didn't make a whole lot of them. This one can be yours, though, at $160, like it is. $180 with an ApostleP Edge. That's the Spyderco Mannix 2 lockback. Next up. How about another Spyderco, another one from Golden, and another Mannix 2, but this will be the Mannix 2 lightweight. It says dark blue, but we know it is purple. It's purple, and the blade is going to be S110V. You betcha. Other than some fingerprints of mine, it's pretty squared away. Let's see. Rock solid. Lock up. Free swing in action. Centering slightly favors the right. It has been used and sharpened. And you know what? It looks like a, again, it looks like a work sharp edge, but it's a pretty doggone nice one. A little toothy, not bad at all. I'll give you a sharpened price, but I don't think it needs it. We'll call it near mint in box. Almost every place is out of these. Grand Prairie Knives has them for $200, which is kind of up there from where they used to be. This one can be yours, very near mint in box. $135 like it is, $160 if I sharpen it. Again, I don't think I need to. Okay, that's in your inventory. Spyderco Mannix 2 LW for lightweight, purple S110. Next up, we got another one from Spyderco. This time we've got a Delica Wharncliffe Blue K390. Really? Yeah. Yeah. The teal FRN handle, black clip, configured for right hand tip down. I don't know if that's how it's shipped. Probably. And then the blade, that K390 Wharncliffe. What a beautiful blade. You'll notice this one did come from a consignor in the Miami area, and it's K390, and it's just got a little cloudy patina going, but all K390 is patina. Lockup is rock solid. The action is slightly stiff on this one. The blade centering is going to be to the right just a bit, but really it's pretty much like new. I'm going to call it near mint to like new, cloudy patina noted. These are available at certain web retailers for $123 plus tax. This one can be yours at $100, all in, shipped priority mail. $125 with an ApostleP Edge on that awesome K390 steel. That is the Spyderco Delica Warney K390. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. Next up, another one from Spyderco. Now this is interesting, guys. This knife was purchased by this consignor, I don't know, like a month and a half ago, and It came to him with the box slightly smushed. I think the small flat rate box got smushed in the mail. And he's anal about his boxes. So he's going to let us sell it. And pay me again. The knife is this. The Native 5 lightweight, black FRN handle scales, tumble polished stainless steel Spyderco clip, midlock backlock, a beautifully tumble polished S30V blade, 2 15/16 by 4 inches. Lockup is dead rock solid. Free drop in action. Perfect blade centering. Like new in a slightly distorted box. Price of these brand new at your favorite web retailer will be $121 plus tax. This one's a like new. $95 shipped priority mail, $115 with an TheApostleP edge. Next day sharpening available. It's one of the first 6. The Spyderco Native 5 lightweight. Next up, are you guys ready for a piece of arachnid history? How long has it been since they made that box? You tell me. The knife inside, if you read closely, is an FB05S. That is a Temperance, original model Temperance. Original model Temperance. And these came in a beautiful Kydex sheath with tech lock from the factory. Take a look at that. That is a full spider edge VG10 blade, full flat ground leaf, 5/32 stock with brilliant vertical and distal taper, a gorgeous molded on FRN handle with a bunch of Coke bottle, some divots for grip, even a big old groove for your thumb at the back if you're going reverse. Condition is like new in box, super rare. Couldn't find any sold listings for this knife. There's a current buy it now listed on eBay at $299. Can't be nicer than this one. Your price, $175 shipped priority mail. Man, Spyderco collectors, if you don't have one, you need this, especially at this price. $175. That's in your inventory as Spyderco FB05S Temperance Spider Edge. Next up, I bet you're not going to find another one of these. I do not have the box with this. Okay. So in this baggie are the original black G10 scales and black Spyderco clip for this Paramilitary 2. But it's not just any Paramilitary 2, guys. This is the Cutlery Shop exclusive Para 2 Warney DLC S30V blade, black hardware, and you'll see it's wearing a easy for you to say, a titanium Casey Lynch deep carry clip, and some beautiful sort of fish scale milled natural jade G10 scales from Cerberus. So here's the deal, guys. The knife was $195 from Cutlery Shop, and they're gone. The scales were $85 from Cerberus. The clip $20. So my consignor has $300 in this knife. One thing to note, one of the stop pin screws is missing, so I'm sure Spyderco will send you that for free. Action is free dropping. Centering is very close to perfect. Action is beautiful. Original scales and clip included. $300 invested. Web retail. It can be yours for $260 like it is. $280 with an TheApostleP edge. Next day sharpening is available. That's in your inventory is Spyderco Para 2 Warney custom scales. Next up, speaking of Cerberus scales, we've got some that came in this bag. They go to a PM2. They have the radar pattern, and the material is OT for Orange Tarot Tough, which looks to me a lot like Canvas Micarta. Definitely not G10. Feels like Canvas Micarta. Doesn't look like they've ever been installed on a knife. So we'll call them like new and baggy. They were $85 brand new, web retail. They can be yours for $50, just like they are. That's the Cerberus Orange Tarot Tough Radar Scales for Para 2. Next up, we have a similar situation. We have some paramilitary 2 scales from Cerberus. These are in natural canvas micarta. They also have the radar pattern. Those will look beautiful with a little age on them. They have none. They're like new and baggy. These sell new for $85 online. They can be yours for $60 as shown, no need to sharpen. Those are the Cerberus Natural Canvas Radar Scales for Para 2. That brings us to the Rob's Pick in tonight's sale. What we've got here, my friends, from Oregon City is a Benchmade 535GY-2101 Bug Out Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. Now this knife was manufactured by Benchmade and shipped to Smoky Mountain with these here diamond mill pattern hard anodized OD green aluminum scales, and then Smoky Mountain, before selling it, installed their custom titanium scales with that cool sort of flamey ano, beautiful mill pattern. It's going to be right hand tip up only with these scales on it. This is the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. I teased you about this yesterday. This consignor is not a Benchmade guy, and he bought this knife like right off the bat a couple months ago. It was the Rob's Pick that night. And it is in CPM M4, by the way. He just doesn't like Benchmades. He thought maybe this would work. Thought the scales were cool. Just couldn't warm up to it. So it's back. And there's just some odd streaking in that, whatever that is, chromium nitride coating. Maybe it's a Cerakote. I'm not sure. But the edge is fairly unmolested. Lockup is dead solid. Pretty much a free swinger. Centering is very close. We sold this a couple months ago for $195. We're going to do it at $195 again. That is the Benchmade 535GY-2101 Bug Out. The Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. Next up, got one from Boost Blades. No box, but we do have the pouch. Inside the pouch, just the knife. This is the Boost Blades Hound. A gorgeous titanium frame lock. 6 trapezoidal parallelogram, parallelogram milled holes with radiused corners. Beautiful. Gorgeous milled pocket clip right hand tip up. It is a titanium frame lock with a front-ish flipper, and you got to definitely keep your fingers off that lock bar, because it will lock closed on you. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. There is your lock engagement. Ball bearing action is beautiful. Centering is perfect. Let me do that again with my... There we go. You just want to keep those fingers off the lock bar when flipping. Find the holes. There you go. Kind of a harpoon spear. Blade length is 3 1/4 inches of gorgeous stonewashed M390. Handle length is 4 1/4. Everything is squared away. It is like new in pouch, no box. You won't believe this price. $200 shipped priority mail. $225 with my edge on it. That's the Boost Blades Hound. And that brings us to the last item in tonight's sale. Not a knife, but a pen. This is the Brian Fell Felhelter tie bolt pen, and what a beauty. This was a dealer exclusive for Monkey Edge. Here it is. Flame anodized titanium barrel with a frag pattern. Milled titanium pocket clip. So to engage the pen, you pull down on the bolt and rotate. And to close it, you just pop it and up it goes. 5.5 inches of overall length, very light. And I forgot the refill. Let's open it up and look. It was something I don't see every day. Easy Flow Bold. Okay. What a thing of beauty. I like that thing. Condition is like new in the plastic tube. New, these are $250. I doubt they're still available. But you can buy this one, $185. $185 like it is, $185 not sharpened. How's that? That is the Felhelter tie bolt pen. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys. Talk to you soon.